Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Nicole. Welcome to MFA. Today I'm going to be running you through a total body workout utilizing the Smith machine and some dumbbells. So all you'll need today is access to a Smith machine, a few pairs of dumbbells, ideally a pair of light dumbbells, moderate and a little heavier, and then just a bench. Let's go ahead and get started. First, let's go through just a bit of stretching here. I like to do dynamic stretches before I get started, just to warm everything up. So some nice windmills here. Reach all the way to the sky. Stretch out your spine. Back and forth just a little bit. We don't need to hold anything for too long because this is just a warm up. Go ahead, go down, touch your toes, up and down, all around just like this. Kind of feel your glutes opening up, your hamstrings. Try your best to keep your knees locked as best you can. If that means you can only go to here, that's okay. So just like so. Then we want to get a nice quad stretch here. So really be intentional about driving your knee down while you pull up on that ankle, okay? Until you get a nice stretch. Do the other side here. Again, not for too long, just a little bit. And then let's do some marches. Just open up the hips a little bit. Okay. And then inner thigh. Because we are going to be working the hamstrings, the glutes, the quads, shoulders, chest, all of that today. Down the middle. One foot, other foot. Just like that. If you get tight calves, you can go ahead and do a quick calf stretch here. Keep that back heel down. And other side as well. And then finally, just a couple of chest openers here. Get everything ready. And if at any point in time you feel a little body part start to get too tight during the exercise, take a rest and stretch that area. Okay, it's not a race. All right, we're gonna get started here with the Smith machine. And we're gonna start with Romanian deadlifts, okay? So Smith machine is nice because it stays very fixed throughout the workout, so you don't have to worry as much about stabilization. So you can kind of keep things a bit more concentrated, okay? So in this case, I'm gonna have my feet a bit more narrow, right underneath my hips, okay? And they're gonna be parallel. And I have a nice strong stance here because I'm gonna be doing a hip hinge, right? So I already wanna get into that position with my heels dug into the ground and preparing with my knees just slightly bent here. My shoulders are down and back, creating a nice straight line for my back, okay? I'm not hyper arching it, and I'm also not doing this, right? So nice strong stance, loose grip on here. You don't need to death grip it. And make sure that because it's the Smith machine, we need to keep this forward, this lever, otherwise you'll get caught, okay? So just like so, my feet are right under the bar, and I'm just gonna hip hinge and then pull back up, okay? So nice and controlled, especially on the way down, okay? And I'm pushing through the heels, and I'm really focusing on my glutes here. The hamstrings are gonna feel it as well, but you really wanna focus on the glutes by pushing those heels into the ground and being very intentional with the movement. Just like so. And if you'd like to do a warm-up with a little bit of a lighter weight or even the bar itself, I would highly recommend that. Maybe about 10 reps of that, and then raise your weight. But you never want to go too heavy unless you're prepared for it. So I'm starting to feel a nice burn in the glutes, which is a good sign. Okay, if you start to feel your lower back on these, it might be a form issue, or it might just be a little heavy for you, in which case I encourage you to go a little lighter. So I'm gonna go for 5 more here. All right, beautiful. All right, We're gonna lift it up a little bit and lock it here. Whew. All right, take a nice rest. Okay, little active cool down here, just so you're prepared for your next exercise and not too tired out. You do want to go ahead and just stretch that area that you just worked just a little. Okay, so that's going to be the hamstrings and the glutes back here, right? So all just like that. And then a neat one for your glutes, a stretch that I really like. Hold on to something and you can cross this leg. And if we're stretching this glute, you'll move your shoulders to this side. Stick your chest out and you should feel a nice little stretch here. So if your glutes are tight, this is a great one to do. All right, next up, we're gonna do a front squat with the Smith machine, okay? So again, it's nice because this is very stable, so we don't need to worry about stabilizing ourselves as much. So with this one, bar's gonna be in front of us again. And just like if you had a barbell, you're gonna set this right about here under your collarbones, okay? And my wrists are underneath here, my palms, just so I get a nice stable situation here, okay? And you want your feet to be just underneath your body at the right amount here. This one is gonna be a bit more quad heavy than glutes because of the way the Smith machine is set up, okay? So just like a regular squat, you're gonna push your hips back and then go as deep as your ankles allow you, okay? You want a strong chest here, chest out, and nice and controlled, and then push, okay? Push through your heels. Just like so. And when I say how deep your ankles allow you, what I mean is if you get down here and then your ankles start to come up, maybe don't go that far down, okay? Just like this. Or if your heels start to come up. Boom. So this is a nice full body one as well, because you will feel it in your arms. And make sure to use your core as well here. You can brace your core, helps you out a little bit. Again, if you have a lighter weight, go for higher reps. Make sure your knees follow your toes. My feet are a little wider than hip width now, okay? I'm gonna do 3 more. Last one. Beautiful. And you can just lock it just like that. Whew. That's great. And then we just want to do a couple stretches here. If your back is feeling a little tight, this is a great one. Just pull away. You can grab the bar, just like this. If your lower back is giving you any trouble, go ahead and grab something beneath you, okay? And jut your hip out to either side, or you can just go straight back for a nice lower back stretch, okay? And you may want to stretch your quads just one more time here. And again, make sure to give yourself enough rest in between exercises, okay? So next up, we're gonna use the bench, and we're gonna go ahead and grab our moderate to heavier dumbbells, and we're gonna do a bench press, all right? So that's gonna be very chest focused and front delt focused, meaning this front part of your shoulder here, okay? So I'm gonna show you how to properly do this. Again, go for something that's not too heavy, but also not too light. Maybe a little heavier than you would do for an arm exercise, okay? Because your chest is a bigger muscle. So I'm gonna take these guys. I want you to go ahead, sit on the bench, nice and carefully, with the weights placed here. The proper way to mount a bench safely is to keep your weights right here, and then we're gonna go back, okay? And while we go back, we're gonna keep these weights to our chest, okay, just for safety. And then immediately as you hit that bench, I want you to push them up into the air, okay? It helps for momentum's sake. So we're gonna go back, And then as soon as I hit the bench, I've put these guys up, because this is a much more manageable position when I'm resting than if I were to have them down here, because then it's a lot harder to lift them up when you're done resting, okay? So this is our starting position. Notice I have the weights turned a bit to a 45-degree angle versus rigidly horizontal like this. And that just allows the exercise to be a little easier on my shoulders, okay? And not irritating to the rotator cuff. So again, because it's a chest exercise, I'm gonna really stick my chest out, quite exaggerated, okay? So you do wanna actually arch your back in this case, okay? Because we really wanna work the chest. My hands, my grip is not tight here. They're just holding the weights nice and stable. With a dumbbell bench press, you are gonna have to control the weights more than you would with a bar, because you have two weights. So what I want you to do is go nice and controlled down right on the nipple line, and then press right above your eyes, okay? So right down middle of the chest, push up toward the eyes. Try to get them to follow the exact same path every time, because that really pushes you in terms of stabilizing the weights and also working your chest, okay? Just like so. And ideally, you'll feel this kind of in the armpit area. And it's working your chest as well, but usually you won't feel that until the next couple days when you're a little sore, okay? So nice and controlled, press, okay? Right down here, press, okay? I'm gonna do 5 more here. And I have my chest out the whole time. And then when I'm done, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna lower them to my chest so it's nice and safe, and then I'm gonna use my momentum to get back up, just like that. And then no matter how heavy the weights are, you'll have a much better chance of getting them up and down safely, okay? All right, great job, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and set these down now. And again, make sure you stretch. This one, you'll wanna go ahead and do some of these. Straight up again. And then since we just worked the chest and the shoulders, this is a great one to do here. Just rotate your body and feel a nice stretch in here and right in the shoulder, okay? Just like that. My hand is open here. And then you can kind of get this one too, so you feel all in here. Get a nice stretch, both sides. And if you're stretching from home ever, it's a great one if you put your hands in between a doorway, and you can get a great chest stretch there, okay? So next, we're gonna go right back to lower body real quick, and we're gonna do something called a staggered deadlift, okay? So this is a great one for isolating one glute at a time. So I highly recommend it if you're trying to get some booty gains, okay? So what we're gonna do, just like if we were doing a normal deadlift, right? So if we're doing a normal deadlift, we're gonna have our feet narrow, right? And if we're doing it with dumbbells, we're gonna have them right like this. We do our hip hinge, just like I did on the Smith machine, okay? Just like that, right? So the staggered deadlift is essentially the same movement. However, we're keeping our body weight on one leg, okay? Because that's the leg that we're working. The other foot can just be right back here, just your toe kind of just there, just in case, okay? Just a little bit of help, but not too much. So my body weight is on this side. This foot's just here to help me. I'm gonna hold this right like this so that when I go down, it's gonna be right by my foot, okay? And already preparing, pushing my heel into the ground so that I'm feeling this glute. I'm now gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna hip hinge and then pull back up, okay? So remember, from here up is fixed. I'm not using my arm to pull the weight up. I'm not using my back. It's all here, okay? So keep this nice and strong, okay? And it doesn't really move throughout the workout. So I hip hinge and then I pull back up. You should feel it right here. Hip hinge, 2, 3. Remember with these not to stretch your neck in any weird way. You want everything to be in alignment with your spine. You might not feel the first couple very much, but if you keep the form, you'll really start to get a nice burn there. Push through that front heel. Really think about the mind-muscle connection here with that front glute. Okay, I'm gonna do 5 more. Oh yeah, 1 more. All right, great. So yeah, you should feel a solid burn there, okay? If you don't, maybe go up in weight a little bit, or if it's a form issue, just really think about the things I laid out earlier. All right, now we're gonna go to the other leg, okay? So same deal. Now I've switched hands with the weight, I've switched feet, so it's the opposite, okay? My body weight is on my right leg now. This one's just here to support me if I need it. And same thing. I'm hinging, controlling with now my right glute. Nice and controlled on the way down, a little more explosive on the way up. Keep that form. Hip hinging. Remember, a hip hinge is, if you can't get it in your head, think about shutting a door with your butt. Okay? It really helps. Feeling a burn. Typically, once you start to feel that burn, that's when you should start counting your reps, okay? That's my opinion. Because that burn is what you're kind of chasing in a way. And so once you start to hit that, I would go for at least 5, maybe 10 more reps, okay? So I'll do 5 more here. Keep that weight on the leading leg. Don't let your back droop. 2 more here. Last one. Awesome. All right, guys. That was great. And now, since your glutes are probably feeling it quite a bit, let's go right back into that stretch I showed you earlier, which you'll probably feel a lot better now. So again, if I'm stretching my right glute, I have my right leg crossed here. And then I turn my shoulders toward that leg. And while I do this, I stick my chest out. That's the important part. Okay. It's kind of like a standing pigeon stretch. So same deal. Chest out, chest out. And there you go. And go ahead and do another quick hamstring stretch here. Go all the way around. All right, great. Let's go ahead with our last exercise here, which is going to be a dumbbell lateral raise, okay? So this one's for your shoulders. All right, so your deltoids, very, very nice aesthetic part of the body, right? So if you're trying to develop your shoulders, this is a great one to do, okay? But don't ever go too heavy on these. Seriously, I wouldn't go above like 15 pounds because it really is a small muscle and you can get it burning pretty quickly. So I want my feet a little narrower here. They don't need to be touching. I just want this sort of stance, nice strong stance. I keep my shoulders down and back the entire time, okay? Really down, all right? Because if I start to scrunch my shoulders up, I'm gonna feel that in my neck and in my traps. And that's a different exercise. So in this case, Shoulders are down, elbows are slightly bent, okay? And they're gonna stay like this the whole time. So they stay fixed. I have a loose grip on the weight, and I'm just raising them just enough. Okay, just enough. I don't wanna go all the way up here, okay? Because all I need is right about to here. Think of reaching for the corners of the room. Okay, boom, boom. And notice at the top of the exercise, my shoulder is above my elbow and my elbow is above my hand, okay? So again, you really don't need to go too high here, because the idea is if you're doing them right, you're gonna start to really feel it, okay? Oh yeah. All right. Feeling a pretty good burn, so I'm gonna do 5 more here. All right. Great, guys. All right, after that one, run through another nice shoulder stretch, because that one's all shoulder. All the way around. Ooh, yeah. And then a great one is to lock your fingers back like this, stick your chest out, and raise these behind you. All right. Great job, guys. Get some water if you need. We're going to run through our second set real quick. All right. This one's going to be a little less repetitions. And I encourage you to go a little heavier in weight this time. Okay. But nothing you can't manage. So again, we're going to start with our RDLs here, Romanian deadlift. Feet are narrow. One. I'm gonna do 10 here. Two more. Really glute focused. And 10. Great, guys. Go ahead. Lift that guy back up here. If you need to stretch, go for it. If you're warmed up, let's keep it going. So now we're gonna go into that front squat. Keep these levers forward, right? Feet are right underneath me. They're a little wider. This guy is pressed right to my chest. I'm going down. Keeping those heels down. I'm going for 10. Two more. Awesome. Whew. All right. Again, go ahead, stretch a little. Nothing crazy. I like to do longer stretches at the end of the workout. Those would be called static stretches, okay? Let's go get into our dumbbell bench press again. All right. Remember, mounting correctly. I'm gonna keep these right here. And again, feel free to go up in weight here or keep it the same and maybe try for a couple extra reps, okay? So I wanna keep them here. Throw them up immediately as I hit the bench. Get into position. Chest is out. All right. Loose grip here, 45-degree angle. Nice and controlled, up and together. Gonna do at least 10 here. Three more, right down to the middle of the chest. Press above the eyes and come together at the top. One more here. All right. And I lower them to my chest. Use the momentum, kick your legs up, and then that's the dismount, all right? Go ahead, put those guys down. Stretch real quick again. And let's go ahead into our staggered deadlift again, okay? So same thing, if you want to go up in weight, totally fine. If not, go for some extra reps, okay? So here we go. Same thing, hip hinging, pressing that heel into the ground, the front heel. Back toe is just supporting you a little bit. Okay, remember, I'm not like this either. I'm here because I'm hinging my hips, shutting the door with my butt. Nice and controlled here. I'm gonna go for 3 more good ones. Last one. All right, then we can switch. So again, switching hands, switching feet. All right, my weight's now on this leg. Hinging, push through the heel. Take your time with these. It's 1 rep at a time. Stay focused here. Think about the mind-muscle connection with that leading glute. Once again. Do 3 more good ones. Keeping my form. Last one. All right. Last exercise here. We're gonna go into our lateral raise, okay? So, again, don't go too heavy with these. You can get a very good burn. Just go for more reps if you'd like. So feet together again, just a little space in between. Shoulders are down, okay? Slight bend to the elbows throughout the exercise. Loose grip on the weights, and we're gonna go just like so. 1. Keep those shoulders down the whole time, okay? Especially while you raise them. While you raise the weight. You can really even get a mean burn with 5s or 3s. Seriously, with this exercise. If you want a little more front delt action, go right in front. You can combine them, go all the way around. Just like that. 2 more here. And, all right. Whew. Great job, guys. Let's go ahead and stretch. Okay, so again, now you can go light, nice and slow with these. All the way around, feeling your shoulders opening up, standing nice and tall, just like that. Reach all the way up. Get a nice back stretch here. Just like so. Quads again. And if they're really tight, you can hold these stretches for about 30 seconds or more, okay? If you have access to a foam roller, also fantastic. Down here, you can even hold this, pull your calves, okay? Just like that. All right, guys, great job. I'll see you next time.